How are you both doing today?
We're good. How are you?
I'm great. It's really great to see you both again. I've been loving the season so far. So, great job on that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I love to start just by asking Geraldine, maybe, the season opens up with this kind of winking reference to the fact that it's shot during COVID. This is a thing that's happening while you were shooting. And I love to start just by asking you, what was kind of the vibe like on set when everybody was being reunited after, months of the industry being shut down?
I think we were all so excited to get the band back together again. And but then also like I think quite like nervous and scared. I was kind of always in this place of like, we're gonna shut down, right? Like any second. We were shooting in January in California and it just felt very tensions were running high. There was a big spike. So I just was kind of like every day was kind of like, all right, we'll see you tomorrow, maybe, who knows. let's hope. Yeah, but I think we were just so happy to be working again, and it felt quite safe because it was shooting completely outdoors, so
Yeah.
that helped us.
Yeah, Karan, after 3 seasons, now being on the show, does it feel like kind of getting the family back together, this working family after, everybody kind of goes off and does their own thing and then you come back for another season together?
Yeah, no, it's really amazing. It's like so rare to have any consistency in Hollywood. And I think the other thing is like we genuinely, and this has not always been the case, that we all are like each other a lot and we hang out like off screen too. Like this season, we went to Joshua Tree and like we do like different things together and we've traveled and lived in other countries and places. So it's always like a very nice thing, and especially during COVID, I think it was really nice to sort of be like, okay, we're here. It was also the most like socializing we had done until that point because we hadn't really hung out without masks, even between takes and stuff. That felt like a huge revolution to be like, wow,
Yeah,
this stuff.
yeah, like don't remember anybody's faces from before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that idea of, you come back, you reset each season, you do get to like pair off in different ways, which is something that we definitely see a bit of this season. Geraldine, could you talk about working with John Bass this season, being in, a married couple and being very intimate together? Was it different now than it would have been if the two of you had been like that together on the first season?
Yeah, definitely. That's a great question. I mean, yeah, I love John Bass with all my heart. He's so much fun to work with, and I think we haven't really gotten to interact. Oh, we did in season 2, I guess. He was my brother. But but we to just gonna move right along past that. We
You won't watch it.
No, he was dead to me in season 2. We have always been like, wanting to work close together on the show and be paired up more. So this was such a treat, and I think because we're so comfortable with each other, and John is such a great guy, that those scenes where he's shitting himself while on top of me and like being horrible to me, I think because I know him so well, he felt safe to be his grossest self and I felt safe in receiving that. That was nice.
I haven't asked you this, but did you break a lot with him?
Yes.
Like you did. Okay.
Well, there was one take of the scene where he's shitting himself on me, where he actually farted on me. At the beginning, he was like, I'm gonna fart on you, and I was like, don't you fucking dare. And he did. And I was like, John, like I dropped out of the scene. I was like, you just farted on me. He was like, use it, stay in it. But broke constantly. It was impossible.
Yeah, I think we'll probably see that in a blooper reel at some point, I would imagine.
Pardon?
I think we'll probably see that in a blooper reel at some point, I would imagine.
I hope so. It's really dark, yeah.
Something that I love so much about the series that I think really makes it stand out is the fact that it takes kind of these traditional types of characters that we're used to seeing, and then really spins them on their head in a unique way. Geraldine, for this season in particular, you're playing a character who I think in kind of like a John Ford Western would have been somebody who was like really kind of relegated to the background, who didn't have much agency. But here she's, you know, she's a total badass. She's front and center taking charge. And I wanted to ask you, is that something that really excites you about the writing for this series, is the way that it takes these things, these characters that we've seen before, and really reinvents them in a new way?
Yeah, I think that's really like a common thread in our show is I feel like I'm always, it's always, you know, it's like a contemporary spin on these periods of history, and or like with the kind of knowledge of that, yeah, this is a modern show and I am kind of still a modern woman. But yeah, I feel like in every season I'm kind of like placed in this messed up backwards world and kind of seeing that with the eyes of today and being like, this is wrong. And I think that's an exciting thing to come in like as that perspective, come in as the eyes of the audience kind of thing.
Yeah, Karan, you've definitely got a bit of that kind of subversive quality too with your character this season. You know, you're playing this kind of big bad gunslinger when he first comes in, but he definitely is not exactly what we expect. How was it for you stepping into those shoes and playing a character type who is quite different from what we've seen you before and really anything in your career?
Yeah, no, I love it. I don't get a chance often to play this broad. So it was really fun. It was really, this season was very fun. I think also because of COVID, I just missed acting so much. And I just really was just like, I'm just gonna go big and just improv and do like a bunch of things and just throw it all on the wall. And so that was really fun to just get to do that. I haven't seen the show yet, so I'm really curious to be like, what did that look like? Because now I'm a little bit like mortified and embarrassed of some of the things I did, but it was really fun on the day to just be like, I describe him as like a 13-year-old teenage girl and like the get up of a gunslinger, just very like, ew. I played Summer Roberts from the OC. That was like my inspiration.
That's a very great reference. As a 30-year-old, that's a reference that really speaks to my heart.
Oh my God, are you listening to the podcast? Welcome to the OC, bitches.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's so good. It started kind of and now they're getting into some of the dirt. And it's like these stories. I'm like, wow, I am happy they addressed the Misha Barton controversy, all of it. Anyways.
We could talk about the OC all day, probably, I think, but I've got to wrap in just a moment. So I'd love to end kind of by asking, you know, watching the series set in the Oregon Trail time definitely had me obviously thinking about how I would handle being in that era, which the answer to that is not well. But I was curious for both of you, if you were suddenly transported back to that era, what is kind of the one luxury of modern living that you feel like you would miss the most? And we could start with Karan.
What I would miss the most? Oat milk.
I was gonna say like a toilet.
Yeah, I was thinking toilet, but oat milk.
Sewage. Oh, right. No. I mean, I barely use those now. Yeah, sewage would be good. AC.
Yeah.
All of it. I couldn't survive. I'm too soft.
I'd shrivel up immediately.
Yeah.
It'd be over. I've got to wrap, but it was great getting to speak with both of you again. I'm really enjoying this so much. I can't wait to see the rest of it. Please, Karan, give Roshan my best.
I will, yeah. Thank you so much for your support. Always, it means a lot.
Of course. Thank you both so much for all of the work that you do. I just love the stuff that you're putting out there. It's such like a comfort, and it's so great to watch the series and just get to laugh for 20 minutes at a time, you know?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mitch.
Thanks so much for your time.
Bye.
Good to see you.